Good morning, my friends. Hope you're having an amazing day, drinking your favorite morning beverage. Get yourself going. Right now it is 7:24 my time. Wherever you're at, happy morning to you, happy evening to you, whatever time frame you're in. I'm Manny Rodriguez. Welcome to my Deep True Crime channel. If you are new to my channel, my goal is to keep you updated on true crime stories that are going on out there. And the most prevalent one right now is the missing of Brian Laundrie. No one knows where this guy is at. Now, he's missing because he's hiding. He's missing because no one knows where he's at. But otherwise, he's really just hiding. And at least that's my thought process on it. And so, good morning to you. And I hope you're having an amazing day. Let's dive into it. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, my friends. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is this new development on what the parents are saying about when Brian actually left. You see, they've changed their story. The parents to Brian have changed their story because of they were probably corrected. So the FBI came down on them pretty hard, or at least in reference to when do you say he actually left? Remember, they originally said they last saw him on Tuesday, September 13th. Okay? Or Tuesday, September 14th. And that he went for a hike in the Carlton Reserves. And so now they've changed their timeline after the FBI started grilling them. That's right. After the FBI started grilling them, okay, to get their facts straight. And so now they're changing it. They're saying, I think we last saw him Monday, September 13th. You see, that was different originally. And so now the Laundrie attorney, Stephen Bertolino, he says that the family has altered their stance on when they last encountered Laundrie. Now notice that he's the one doing all the talking for them, right? He's going to know how to say it. He's going to know what to say. He's going to know what reasons to give. And so when the FBI started cracking down harder on them, especially when their silver or gray, whatever you want to call it, Mustang was actually seen back home. So now they're saying, wait a second, your Mustang was at your residence on that Wednesday. But they originally said that the car was gone for like 2 days, right? And so now they're altering their stance and saying, no, he actually left on Monday, September 13th. And so now they're changing their timeline from what they originally told investigators. What do you think? Do you think that's just an honest mistake? Or again, buying time, right? So it's interesting. Their attorney says the Laundries were basing the date Brian left on their recollection of certain events, right? He has the attorney's just literally putting it in the right place, right? He's saying the right things. So to me, it's like, really, dude? Really? The Laundries were basing the date Brian left on their recollection of certain events. And he says, upon further communication with the FBI and confirmation of the Mustang being at the Laundrie residence on Wednesday, yeah, because you guys have been lying since the freaking very beginning. So, of course, there's going to be some discrepancies on your stories. When you're lying, it's hard to keep up with the story. Maybe you thought it was best to say Tuesday. Again, you must not be worried about him missing or doing something to himself because you don't even know when he left. You don't even know what day he left. Well, you do. You're just freaking lying to the authorities. That's my take on it. And so now we know more of it. And so the attorney's like, upon further communication with the FBI and confirmation of the Mustang being at the Laundrie residence on Wednesday, September 15th, we now believe the day Brian left to hike in the preserve was Monday, September 13th. Well, let's stop with the lying part of he went to hike in the preserve. Because obviously he did not. Like, are you really sticking to that? Well, of course you are, because that's your side and you don't want to be in trouble. And so at this time, Brian's just a person of interest, right? He's just a person of interest in the murder of of Gabby Petito. And so they reported him missing on Friday, September 17th, after he returned home without Gabby. So he returned home September 1st. They reported him missing September 17th because they knew time is running out. They're going to find some way to get you in. And literally, if he was at home when they filed the warrant, when the warrant came out for his arrest, because now he's a fugitive. Now he's a fugitive. If he was home when the warrant came out for his arrest for using Gabby's debit card, we would be speaking a different tune. He would already be arrested if he was at home. So he knew it was just a matter of time before they knew something was up that they need to catch him. It was just a matter of time. That part is pretty obvious. And so now, more after being pressed by the FBI, they're saying, we don't know anything. He left on, now they're changing it to Monday, September 13th. So, that's interesting on its own. And so Cassies Laundrie speaks as well. Cassies Laundrie is Brian's sister. Now, if you heard, so I've had a little audio issue. I keep playing it, wanting you guys to hear it, and then forgetting to change something here, and then all of a sudden you guys are hearing other stuff. So I'm going to play this again, and I'm going to do my best not to forget to change it back, because once audio is going, you guys hear everything that I don't know, because I can't hear it at the same time. I gotta figure that out. I'm not too great with audio. But let's hear what the sister had to say. And again, if you've already heard this from my channel, that part came out okay, but then everything else got messed up. But let's hear what Cassies Laundrie had to say about this whole incident, about the family. So listen up.
The time when I was called by the police. Since that point, I haven't been able to speak to my brother.
Was Brian with you on September 1st? Did he come to this house?
He came to this house with my parents in their Mustang, not the van. I did not know that he took that van back. I found out the next day with everybody else. We are just as upset, frustrated, and heartbroken as everybody else. And I am losing my parents and my brother and my children's aunt and my future sister-in-law on top of this. And you're not helping.
Why your parents? Why you're talking about Chris? Why aren't they talking to you guys?
If I knew, I would say, I don't know.
Do you think they're involved, your parents?
I don't know.
You don't know.
100% honesty. September 11th, night forward. We've been cooperative.
It's just frustrating. Them families that not counting the belongings from Gabby and her parents.
We have no idea what they have.
I don't know. Parents that have the phone on.
So I believe there was still echoing. I don't know why that echoes. Something else must be playing. Let's see if something's playing right now. I don't hear anything, so I don't know why that's...
I mean, it's just frustrating,
I'd also like to...
I don't know why it's echoing. So maybe you heard that, maybe you didn't. I don't know why it's echoing. Someone just shared that it is echoing, and I'm not too sure why it keeps doing that. So if you heard it, hopefully you did. I'm not too sure why that's happening. And so that is a little of what Cassie is saying about it all. Cassie herself is trying to stay far away from this on that whole thing. So she's just like, I have nothing to do with this. I'm coming out here to talk to you guys because you guys are upsetting my children. We don't know anything. The interview that you guys are misinterpreting, my words were misinterpreted. So she's upset too. She's telling Brian, turn himself in. She's saying, even, I don't know if my parents are in on this. I don't know if what my parents know. She's saying that her parents have pretty much disowned her. The Laundrie lawyers have thrown her under the bus. And so she's at odds with her parents on this matter. We'll wait to be seen on more of the developments there. But she's just saying, like, look, I don't know where you guys are getting all your information from. We have nothing to do with this. But, you know, it is what it is in that matter. And so they come out and they talk. And they're not talking to reporters. They're talking to protesters outside their home. And they're saying, you know, yep, we did go camping on September 6th with them. We took the kids with them. We stayed there from 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock. We had to get going because the kids had school the next day. And it was about an hour drive, right? And so they admit, yeah, we saw Brian that day. Yeah, Brian did come here on September 1st with my parents when he arrived in town, which is the day he arrived. And, you know, obviously he's visiting family and he was trying to surprise them. And here's a little of, you know, went on this camping trip. So on the camping trip, I mean, think about this. September 6th, everyone's looking for Gabby. No one knows. And when I say everyone, I'm talking about the parents. Because we didn't, until she was reported missing, it wasn't as much in the whole story. It wasn't as much in it. And so we don't know more than that. Okay? But Brian did go and spend time with them. That's him with his two nephews right there. And so here we are. We don't know, like, what happened. Literally, what happened? He's spending time laughing, having fun. And at this time, we're like, where's Gabby? Where's Gabby? The parents are blowing their phone up. Now, Cassie says that if they tried to call her, she said, because according to her dad, according to the dad of Joe Petito, the dad to Gabby, he said that they tried to call in the sister as well. And her comment is, no, I didn't have any missed calls. I even went back to check it. Maybe he had the wrong number. That's definitely possible. Okay. Now, I feel like she's genuine. I feel like she's being honest here, right? I feel like she might know a little bit more than she's leading on, but nothing to have everyone outside her house. I don't think she knows anything about what the parents are telling them to hide. Now, the lawyer did tell the family, don't speak. That's weird on its own. The lawyer to Brian Laundrie says he did tell the family, don't speak, including her. Don't speak. Telling Cassie, don't speak. Because in this interview, she even says, I'm gonna face some backlash. The FBI told her there are some things don't talk about. So they do have to be careful what they talk about. And so as of now, that's all we really know on their side of things, right? So we can only hope that we find out more. And so there have been a dozen Brian Laundrie sightings in, I have allergies in the morning, that's, as you can tell, keep messing with my nose here. There have been a dozen Brian Laundrie sightings in the North Carolina area. And the North Carolina area, as we know, is also the Appalachian Trail, which is a very popular trail. And someone swears up and down, he says 99.99% positive that he saw Brian Laundrie. Brian Laundrie stopped him while Brian was in his own truck, some beat up old truck, and he was asking for directions. And so authorities are receiving multiple sightings in North Carolina of Brian Laundrie. And so, which he's just wanted for the question in the disappearance of Gabby, now homicide of Gabby. So he's just a person of interest. Where he is going to be arrested for, if they did find him, is using her debit card. It has now come out, and it is official, according to the Petito attorney. Yes, Brian Laundrie did use over $1,000 of her money, her Capital One credit card, used it to travel back from the West Coast to home, used it for gas, used it for different reasons to get home. Only then to leave his wallet home, leave his phone home, and go in hiding. He's definitely hiding. No doubt about that. He is hiding. And so now a bunch of people are saying they have sightings of Laundrie in the western part of the state, near the Tennessee border. And all these sightings come since last Thursday. And so, there's been one guy who's having to freaking defend himself left and right, saying, I'm not Brian, because they say he looks like Brian. I mean, right now, if you're bald with a beard, you might be in trouble. And you're kind of skinny, you might be in trouble. Like, it's amazing. So, according to the guy who said he saw him around 2:30 in the morning, right? He says he was talking wild. He said that his girlfriend left him and he had to go out to California to see her, and he says he was acting funny and I wasn't sure what he looked like. And then I went and parked and pulled up the photographs of him. And I'm 99.99% sure that was him. I mean, it was dark. He said the light from his vehicle, the light from from Brian's vehicle, put a shine on both of their faces and he can see them. 99.99% sure. Well, he's not 100% sure, it sounds like. He says he was driving an old beater. It wasn't like an old beater. He said it wasn't like an old beater. I messed that up. It was a Ford F-150, more newer like that, and it was a newer truck. Where'd he get money for that? I don't know. I just don't know. And so the caller, he swears up and down it was him. But that, along with more sightings, again, people are, there's been sightings that he was on a plane to Canada. There was sightings that he was, in different parts of the area. So we don't really know what is accurate right now with all these tips. And, more will remain to be seen on that, right? More will remain to be seen. And so I think it's interesting. Dog the Bounty Hunter put up $10,000 of his own money, which I appreciate. The reward for any tips that lead to his arrest is up to $180,000. Now, granted, that could be a lot of the tips. Now, if multiple people are saying he's in the Appalachian Trail, I don't know who's going to get the money, but nothing's led to the arrest of him, right? Nothing's led to catching him. And I think it's unfortunate. It looks like, one of Dog the Bounty Hunter's daughter calls, this hunt from Dog to Brian Laundrie, called it a publicity stunt. And her exact words is, and this was, if you guys remember, Beth, his wife that died a few years ago, it was her daughter. So Dwayne Chapman, Dog the Bounty Hunter, he adopted Beth's daughter to become the legal dad, the real dad, right? And she says he needs to back off and let the FBI handle it Her name is Cecily Chapman. And he says, you know, now they have an estranged relationship. They're not keeping. She says he needs to back off and let the FBI handle it. And so that's what she told The Sun. Okay, The Sun is a well-known publication. And so she says it's just a publicity stunt. That's really what it is. And so, you know, at the end of the day, I don't care what publicity stunt. Let's freaking find Brian. If he wants to become more popular and he actually catches him, I'm not complaining. Seriously, I don't care if he's doing it for publicity. I don't care if he's doing it for the cameras. I care that he is he really onto something? That's what I care. He's putting up his own money, you know. She also says she questions how he's financing this hunt. So he's apparently shopping a potential new reality TV show. So she feels like maybe this is part of what he's doing it. She says, this is her quote, "A real network would be aware of the situation. And I'm pretty sure everyone knows that this is a effing publicity stunt." I still don't care. I literally do not care if it's a publicity stunt. What I do care is, number one, he's getting tips and he's trying to go up on those tips. That's what matters. Cecily, are you doing anything to try to find this Brian dude and bring justice for Gabby? Who cares? Of course the media wants to talk to you because you're the daughter to Chapman, even if you don't have a real relationship with her. And then she makes this quote, what? You found a Monster Energy can? What does that do for anyone? You know, whatever in my opinion. And she says, to be completely honest with you, the FBI is never going to let Dog the Bounty Hunter catch Brian anyway. The FBI is way too prideful for that. Okay, there might be some relevancy behind that. Okay, all right, whatever. And, you know, she also has a sister, Bonnie. They're both estranged from Dog, who is a newlywed. They just got married not too long ago, literally like 2 months ago or something like that. And so now Bonnie, the 22-year-old daughter, she says that, you know, he's accused of racism and homophobia as well as cheating on her late mom, Beth. I believe that is known. That's a known truth. And now Dog, he previously was quoted saying, sadly, Bonnie and Cecily have been employed by disgruntled former associates with multiple felonies who want revenge at any cost and are attempting to tarnish my reputation. You know, now one daughter is still by her side, by Dog's side. She's actually helping. And she's saying now we're getting tons of tips that we're following up with. And so overall, this is a pretty sad thing. And that's right. The Sims does share something that he raises a good point. Let me show you guys that on the screen. He does raise a really good point. The Sims shares that, don't forget, Brian Laundrie's sister said he is a mediocre survivalist. That's right. She said those exact words, that he's like, she doesn't know how he's still, if he is out there, because he is not really that great as a survivalist, and that he is only mediocre at it. And of course, if anyone's going to know, probably be her. And so that is thank you, Sims. That's a good point. I did forget to mention that, but he's still out there hiding somewhere. We don't know where, but he's out there somewhere. My friends, thank you for joining me this morning. I'm Manny Rodriguez. This is Deep True Crime. Hey, if you are getting some value and you want to help get the word out, please hit that like button. That way YouTube will show it to more people. And at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want more eyeballs looking for Brian, being aware of Brian, knowing what's going on. Now, granted, Brian even has some supporters. Believe it or not, Brian has some supporters. And you know, just like anything, there's always two sides to everything. Since he's not talking, we can only go off of the facts that we know. They both left. One came back. One was missing. One did not talk at all. One went into hiding because he has something to hide. So some of the people that are supporting him are like, you know, they're saying that he's the one that was abused and he probably lost his crap. And you know, according to John Walsh in a CNN interview, he says she was beaten to death. Now, granted, we don't know because the autopsy hasn't come out. But John Walsh might have talked to somebody who's doing this autopsy. He's going to have more pull than me or you, right? And so that remains to be seen. But by what he shared, she was beaten to death. And he needs to pay. Brian Laundrie needs to be caught. Hashtag justice for Gabby. My friends, I'm Manny Rodriguez. Thank you for joining me this morning. I hope you have an amazing day. Go out there and spread some joy. And hey, if you found some value, please hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe because I'm continuing the updates around Gabby Petito as they come in. And if you have any suggestions on what case you would like me to cover, I like cases that have an actual ending. Unlike this one, which is kind of an ongoing, because it is so spotlighted, I want all eyeballs looking for Brian as well. Cindy Meadows, she retracted. I think she said she disagreed with John Walsh. Cindy, is that what you were saying? Suggestion, David Letterman's announcer. I'll definitely look that up right away. I'll definitely, if it's a true crime and there's an ending that we know what happened and how they were caught, I'm definitely all about that. Cindy, I'll look into that. If that looks like promising, I'll definitely do it. She was saying I have to agree with John Walsh. Okay. And you know, who's going to know more than him? Who's going to know more than him? Because we don't know more than John Walsh. My friends, Cindy, thank you for joining us this morning. The Sims, thank you for joining us. Whoever else is on may not have been commenting. Thank you for joining this morning. Cover the Prince Andrew. Oh, that's a doozy right there. He is in some hot water there. That's for sure. Great suggestion, Sims. My friends, I'm Manny Rodriguez. I look forward to serving you again. Great suggestions, Cindy and Sims. And I look forward to serving you guys again. Have a great day. Peace.